Welcome back, friends. In today's video, I'm going to share my thoughts on AT&T. Is it a buy, hold, or sell? Now, one thing I love about AT&T is its high dividend yield. It has a whopping 7.23% dividend yield, and it pays out a quarterly dividend of 52 cents per share. That's one of the great things about AT&T, and that's one of the things I love about the stock is its dividend. Another thing I love about AT&T is its commitment to paying the dividend. So even though recently it did not increase the dividend, they still continue to pay it out. So if you own AT&T, they're going to pay a dividend in February. Just keep in mind the ex-dividend date is coming up January 8th. So you have to own AT&T stock before January 8th to be eligible for the dividend. Another good thing they're doing on a positive note is they're focusing on lowering down their debt. Another thing I think is heading in a positive direction is trying to sell off DirecTV. DirecTV has been losing subscribers every year. So I think that's a good thing that they're actually trying to sell it off. So that's a positive heading into the right direction. Also, Raymond James listed it as a buy. Another positive is HBO Max. Now, I was kind of torn if I should put it here or in another part of the video. Overall, I think HBO is a positive for the company. In the third quarter, they had 8.6 million active subscribers in the US. Now, HBO Max is only available in the US now, so there's potential to expand internationally. But they also added an additional 4 million subscribers. In early December, they had 12.6 million subscribers. Don't forget they did drop Wonder Woman as well, so that number should go up. I'm definitely looking forward to their earnings call to see how well Wonder Woman helped lift HBO Max. So HBO Max is a bright spot for AT&T. If they could just tweak a couple of things, I think they could really get it off the ground. But I'm going to really talk about this later at the end of the video on my final thoughts. Even though I have it listed as a positive, there are a couple of things I find worrisome with HBO Max, but it also has huge potential. So that's why I listed it as a positive. Now, some of the negative when it comes to AT&T is this huge debt. AT&T debt is enormous. AT&T debt is around 168 billion. Yes, billion with a B. So that's one of the negative points about AT&T is this astronomical debt. Also, even though they're committed to paying a dividend, I do find it somewhat worrisome that they didn't increase the dividend, but I do understand why they did it because they really need to focus on paying down this debt. But I do have that listed as a negative. Another thing I find worrisome was the sale of Crunchyroll. I'm a huge fan of Crunchyroll. I'm a huge fan of HBO Max. And one of the things I love about HBO Max was some of their anime. And having Crunchyroll a part of the AT&T family, they were able to add that to HBO Max, and I feel like it added value to the streaming service. Selling Crunchyroll makes me wonder what they're going to do with HBO Max. I feel like they don't have a real direction with HBO Max at this moment. Another big thing for me is their payout ratio at 136%. But they do have the free cash flow to help pay the current dividend. But I think the payout ratio is a huge red flag. And I feel like overall, AT&T doesn't have a real direction of, as a business, I feel like they have a good product, but when it comes to the company as a whole, I feel it's just a bunch of things they just throw on a wall. For example, with HBO Max, they just released HBO Max without putting it on Roku. They sold Crunchyroll, which I thought was a positive addition to HBO Max. Also, one of the things they did really well was advertising for 2021 that they're going to release all their movies on HBO Max simultaneously at the movie theaters. That's a great announcement, but the only sad thing about that is they didn't talk to their partners to make that decision. So some of those movies will not be on HBO Max. Probably the ones you're looking at is Dune, if you're a Dune fan, and King Kong vs. Godzilla. Those were co-financed with Legendary, so you might not see those movies on HBO Max initially. We might see one of them, but we might not see both. And we also might see a couple of others. So it really depends on if they're able to hammer out some of these deals. So I think that was a great move if they could pull it off. but it's going to end up costing them a lot of money in the long run. And that's where I feel the difference between HBO Max and Disney Plus. You can tell Disney Plus have a direction and a goal. They came out with The Mandalorian. They're coming out with a strategy. Outside of this huge announcement for the movies in 2021, I don't see what their strategy for HBO Max is for 2022, 2023, 2024. What are their big shows, their tent poles for the network? Now, even though I love HBO Max, I feel like they have a lot of good quality content. Just because I love it, they have to get the general public to love it as well. A lot of people I know, they do like it and they do enjoy it. Some people like it more than Netflix as well, but they need to get it together and just come with a solid plan for HBO Max. They can't just keep throwing things against the wall. This year we're going to do this, next year we're going to do that. But I do see huge potential for HBO Max. If they're just able to kind of string it together, I think they're going to be able to move forward. But one thing they have to realize is you have to treat your talent right. That's one thing Netflix does really well with Dave Chappelle and other talent, because at the end of the day, when it comes to all these streaming services, you need content creators. You need good ones that people want to see. Unfortunately, Game of Thrones ended, but if they had Game of Thrones now with HBO Max, it would have did wonders for them. But unfortunately, they do not have HBO Max at this point. They do not have a Sopranos. They have good shows that I enjoy to watch, but they're not mega popular shows to the general public. And that's who they need to reach. And they need that now. They need to start building the foundation to have those shows when this one-off ends in 2021 with these movie releases. And once they run out of these same days with the movie theaters and HBO Max, what are they going to do for 2022? That's my issue with HBO Max. Overall, huge potential, great platform. AT&T need to get it together with a direction for the company. Can't keep buying stuff like DirecTV, then selling it, buy a Crunchyroll, then selling it. They need to figure out where they're going to go long term. Right now, I feel like HBO Max is just the hot product. Or are they going to stay committed to really building this product up? Or are they going to drop it like DC Universe or whatever the DC streaming service they had for like 1 year? It was like dead on arrival. I feel like they just need to work on that, and I think they'll be okay. Because overall, I think they have a lot of great intellectual property. They just need to focus in as a business on where they're going and where they want to be at, and they'll be okay. Now, my overall thoughts as far as will I buy, will I hold, will I sell? As a disclaimer, I do own AT&T stock. I do not plan on buying any more shares at this particular moment. I'm definitely going to hold. I'm not going to sell. If anything, I'm going to reinvest my dividend at under 28. Then I might take a second look at it. But really, I want to hear what they have to say on their earnings call that's coming up on January 27th. So I really want to see where they're going to take this company in the future before I make any other decisions on AT&T. But right now, it's a hold with reinvesting the dividends. I will not be buying any new shares. I will keep an eye on it. But at this present moment, I'm not buying. I am only holding. And just a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed investment advisor, and my videos are just for entertainment and fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. It'll be greatly appreciated. And look out for more. And have a good one. I'm out.